The Metro Atlantic jumps from 11 to 13, adding Sacred Heart and Merrimack. Looking at the institutional profiles of the Metro Atlantic, all 13 schools are private and 10 of 13 are Catholic. Everyone has a 4-digit enrollment, while Sacred Heart enters the Metro Atlantic with the second highest enrollment, just a hair behind Quinnipiac. Here are the athletic budgets of all 13 schools. The top row is their overall athletic budget. The middle row is how much of their athletic budget is devoted to student aid money. And the bottom row is what is left over of their athletic budget after you subtract that student aid money. And once you isolate that student aid money, SHU has the highest athletic budget in the Metro Atlantic, and Merrimack comes in at 5th. Now looking at men's basketball budgets, Iona had the highest men's basketball budget, ranked 114th in Division I. Siena was 155th, Fairfield 156th, and Manhattan 158th. SHU is 271st, and Merrimack 286th. For 10-year KenPom, Iona leads everyone by far at 112th within Division I. That is followed by Siena at 203rd, the St. Peter's Peacocks at 207th, and Rider at 208th. Pictured here are all of the Metro Atlantic basketball arenas. Added at the bottom are SHU and Merrimack. One interesting dynamic of this move is its impact on men's lacrosse. 1 month ago, the NEC wasn't even sponsoring men's lacrosse, while the Metro Atlantic had 10 members. Then 2 weeks ago, the NEC announced that it would be sponsoring men's lacrosse, and with it, it took 4 of the 10 schools in the Metro Atlantic, leaving the Metro Atlantic with 6. So the NEC would have 7. That was the plan. Until now, with SHU and Merrimack moving to the Metro Atlantic, that means the Metro Atlantic will now go from 6 to 8, and the NEC drops from 7 to 5. The NEC is going to have to find that 6th men's lacrosse member. It is unknown what SHU and Merrimack will do with football, but the best guess is that they will join the OVC Big South football merger. That would put the whole arrangement at 12 schools, with 5 under the Big South umbrella. The NEC is now down to 7 schools: Stonehill, CCSU, LIU, Fairleigh Dickinson, Wagner, St. Francis, and Lemoyne. Something to keep an eye on is the multi-sport conference bylaw in the NCAA Division I manual. Bylaw 20.02.8.1, minimum number of members, states a multi-sport conference shall be composed of at least 7 active Division I members. The member conference shall include at least 7 active Division I members that sponsor both men's and women's basketball. The key word in there is active, which begs the question, what is an active Division I member? Well, Bylaw 20.2.1 goes through the eligibility requirements, and one of those is active membership under the provisions of Bylaw 20.2.3. So you go to Bylaw 20.2.3, and one of the requirements to be an active Division I member is completion of the reclassification process. An institution desiring to become an active member of Division I shall complete a reclassification period. And then once a committee has determined that that institution has met the requirements of reclassification, its request for active membership in Division I will be referred to the Board of Directors for election. So that means that Stonehill and Lemoyne are not yet active Division I members. They cannot be until they complete that reclassification process. You need 7 active Division I members to meet that multi-sport conference bylaw. Lemoyne would be that 7th member of the NEC. They are going through the reclassification process currently. The current year, 2023-24, is the first year, so the NEC is fine this year. But there will no longer be 7 active Division I members starting next year. Lemoyne will only be in their 2nd year of their reclassification process next year, and then the 3rd year the year after, and then the 4th year the year after that. They don't become an active D1 member until 2027-28. However, there is a grace period bylaw. Bylaw 20.02.8.5 says a conference shall continue to be considered a multi-sport conference for 2 years following the date of withdrawal of the institution that causes the conference's non-compliance with the minimum multi-sport conference requirements. So that means in Lemoyne's 2nd and 3rd years of reclassification, both of those years will be in the grace period, so the NEC will be fine. But it's Lemoyne's 4th year, 2026-27, that spells trouble. A reclassifying member does not become an active Division I member until completing their reclassification process per bylaw 20.2.3.1 on the previous slide. So the NEC can add D2 schools, but that would not solve the issue of multi-sport conference bylaw compliance. So my interpretation of the bylaws is the NEC needs an active Division I member to meet the requirements of a multi-sport conference in 2026-27 after that 2-year grace period expires. How does the NEC get that 7th active D1 member by 2026-27? Plan A would be to target MAAC schools. Plan A.1 would be offering Howard, Delaware State, and Morgan State, but Howard is very unlikely to accept as they can shoot higher than the NEC given their attractiveness to other conferences. Regarding Delaware State and Morgan State, they probably want to stick with the MAAC as long as Howard is around because that's what they've done so far. Now, Plan 8.2 would be wait for Howard to move by 2026, then scoop up Delaware State and Morgan State when that happens, as the MAAC would no longer be viable. Howard's president retires in June 2024, and Howard will have options if the new president that takes over thinks differently. Plan B would be a MAAC-NEC merger. That becomes more realistic if Howard ever leaves the MAAC, leading to MAAC desperation. Now, if Howard never ends up leaving MAAC and the MAAC stays intact, Plan C would be apply for a waiver, as the NEC can argue that they would be in compliance 1 year later in 2027-28. If that waiver is denied, then Plan D would be to add Chicago State in 2026-27. They would add Chicago State on the basis of contractual membership with the option not to renew, like the WAC did when they added Chicago State.